Okay, society. I don't really want to do this one, but it came to me. Yeah. I don't have supporting documentation once again, but the United States of America, specifically Illinois, yeah, put me in a conservatorship, similar to Britney Spears. But they're both different situations. They were both shitty hell, but mine's different than hers. And hers, she has her own story. This is part of my story. My conservatorship was done with Margaret Helen Stahl in, okay, who sometimes goes by Margaret Chapman. That to say, I was in this conservatorship until I turned 50. And some reasons why I was put into it was because I'm a unique, original, one-of-a-kind being that's never going to be, like, made again. Like, God Almighty, the God above all gods, made me and broke the mold, never to be made again. None of my daughters, none of my sons, none of my relatives are going to be like me. There is none other. Doesn't make me God. It makes me unique, okay? Yeah. So these people thought I was like a quadriplegic because I couldn't always do the universe. Because of the Satanists and Nazis in my past. Or they thought I was mentally retarded because I was so goddamn advanced in like reading, arithmetic, solving problems, you name it. Walking, dancing. As a little infant, you know? Yes. They thought I had a mental disability. Like mental retardation. And that's how I still say it, not to put them down, but their mental brain is not functioning right if you are mentally retarded, yes. And there's things I believe that could help them become their best self. It's not putting them down, it's just stating a fact to me. That's how they thought of me. Especially after I was possessed against my will. Some people that are mentally retarded do need conservatorships or something written up legally to protect them from evil or nastiness or things that would harm them and not let them develop to their highest part of their being. But you need to treat them humanely because they are very human and they all have a special gift to give. No, Adolf Hitler and those Nazis wanted to murder every goddamn one of them during that time. And since then, that time, which is World War II. It curdles my stomach. I can't eat. Unless I need the nourishment, then I force myself to eat, which is not always wise. Okay. Now, some people, they do get to be quadriplegics, or they're not really a vegetable state, but close to it. There was a girl when I was in grammar school. She went through a car accident. And yes, they drew up legal papers for her because she was in a vegetable state. But then she came out of it. With lots of prayer and help and support, she came out of it and she became a fully functioning person again, an adult. But while she was in that vegetable state, her parents did do up a contract to protect her from harm. I'm not against that. That's very important. And if someone can't get out of their state of almost vegetableness, they're still giving to society non-verbally and ideas, connections. They're affectionate, you know. They have value. Even if you don't see it, they have value. So anyways, back to my conservatorship with Margaret, my aunt. She was supposed to support me till I reunified with my mother. which couldn't happen until after I was 50. So taking the life of Elizabeth Alexander Mary II, which is her title, it's not totally her given name at birth, just like my given name is not Rachelklara. My mother named me Victoria. I don't go by that. I just never liked it as much, to be honest. Okay. Some of my mother is Elizabeth Rachel. Okay, yes. Okay. So another point is Margaret was supposed to reunify me even if my mother died. Yes, I saw Philip yesterday driving past me. No, he's been my rapist, and he's the worst of the Philip set rapist that I've ever had to deal with. No, I've seen George VI. I've seen Anastasia, which the family would call Margaret Martha. Chapman Klein. Okay, I've seen a lot of people that are supposedly dead. And no, they still go by Anastasia or George or Rachel or Elizabeth Rachel or Elizabeth Alexandra. Yeah, or Elizabeth Alexandra Mary. Get it? Yes. Okay. I don't know if Philip goes by whatever because he's my rapist. I'm not into his name. Okay. And I am supposed to be reunified with my mother, whether she died or not, before my 51st birthday. Oh my God. Yes. And technically, that's on the 20th. Though I say to everyone, yeah, it's April 21st, 1973. I say non-verbally. That's what you'll have. Or sometimes I do say that verbally, but it's really the 20th of April. And so if we go back to that, it's 1, 2, 3. It was a month this past Saturday, and it's my 51st birthday. So Margaret's under the Saturn eyes of like, are you gonna reunite Rachel with her mother, her biological mother? Or are you gonna just screw it up again, lady? So yeah, she was supposed to be there this whole time supporting me. For 51 years, yeah. And she's supposed to reunite me with my mother, even if my mother died, before my 51st birthday. And if I figured out before evil came out of my body, I was possessed at 10 months for 45 years, yeah. If it came out of my body before November 20th, 2018, and I figured out all of this, that Elizabeth Alexander Mary is my mother, and that I was stolen away from her, and I'm being kept from her, and all my fathers, then I needed to be reunified right away. And yes, I've said it numerous times in the last 5 years, universally, and yes, in writing, on the social media. Okay? Yeah. And just to let you know, yeah, it was a few Mother's Days ago. Like, not British Empire, but United States of America. Yeah, Mother's Days ago. That she had Shane shut the door in my face on Mother's Day. Though I came to say, Happy Mom's Day. I don't consider that supportive. And with this abduction of the children, yeah, over a year ago, I don't consider what she did in that video supportive. And I don't consider her standing with Shane 100%. I understand because she's all about blood, not about doing good and right, or law and order. But yeah, she stood with him instead of me. She stood with Beth. Well, we can't have you here because Beth doesn't like what you did to Shane. Well, I didn't like that Shane was domestically violent to me and the children. So anyways, my conservatorship was till I was 50 years old. Because that's what Margaret wanted. And yes, bitchy Beth reinvented, Shane Tyler Propert reinvented, and even Shane Tyler Propert that wasn't reinvented, the one I'm civilly married to, yes, wanted that conservatorship to hold me back from self-actualization, which is in the Illinois state constitution. And they wanted to bring down the British Empire and the Russian Empire and any other empire that is on the globe, like good little Nazis. Now, are they Nazis? I'm not going to say, but that's what their actions were showing. So you have to decide. Do I look like a vegetable? Do I think like a vegetable? Am I a quadriplegic, even though I sit around most of the days doing nothing but sipping tea and eating bonbons? If someone digresses in their advancement of self-actualization, you got to figure out why they're digressing, and it is not necessarily because of their will. Especially if you deal with evil, darkness, hell, Lucifer, Satan, the devil, Sataniachia. No, not Yahoo's. I'm talking about Sataniachia, yes. And, you know, Nazis, Bolsheviks, and Satanists, okay? Careful. And Satanism is not a religion, and it's not a faith. It's against everything. It's pro-Lucifer, defiance, rebellion. Not law, not order. So anyways, this is getting long, almost 12 minutes. Take care. Hopefully that understands what's gone on. And trust me, if you act like a terrorist, I will tell you, you're a terrorist to me. If you act like a Bolshevik, I'll say you're acting like a Bolshevik, so stop it, because you're going to go into Nazism next. If you're acting like a Nazi, I'll say, stop acting like a Nazi. Stop being a Nazi. Doesn't mean you are a Nazi, but you're acting like one. And if you blew a red light and got in an accident, which is a crash or collision, they all say now, I will say you were being an idiot and you went through the light and crashed into someone because you wanted to, if that's what I saw. Because it's written there before us in the universe. Okay? Not everyone sees it like me, but I'm going to give my opinion because I'm a human being and I have every right to speak what I see and to say the truth. And since I'm on Abraham Lincoln's land, Honest Abe, I will speak the truth and I will keep on speaking the truth. Even if you don't like it and you try to frame me, blame me, and shame me into shutting up, I will not shut up. Because if you want law and order in this, like, God-forsaken state and nation, that's what I feel half of the time. I will keep on speaking up so that you guys can wake up, smell the coffee, and live out the truth before God, your state constitutions, and your federal constitution, which is always supportive of free speech. And no, I didn't slander them. I wish I could. It's not in me to slander people, but I speak things as I see it. Which leads me to my next point and my next post, but this is getting on to 14 minutes now, so I gotta shut the fuck up. Peace. Take care. I'd rather tell you that I don't like you and I don't like your character than just to be, oh yeah, you're just so goddamn beautiful and I just like blah, 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 blah. I am not a forked-tongued person, okay? I don't say one thing and do another. I don't like, let's try to like play games with them. I'm all about peace, not forked tongues. Okay? Grow up.